Hello and welcome to episode one of Jack's Shack of Horror. I was sort of like spitballing names, and one name that I had came up with was Don't Go Jack in there, but I felt like that sounded like I was like telling some sort of like scroty teenager like not to masturbate. This is just a little thing that I wanted to set up because I could caramelize ears with chat about horror films or just anything horror, to be honest. And I feel like my friends and family are definitely sick to the back fucking teeth listening to me chat absolute shit. For episode one, I am going to list you off just a few films that I think are criminally underrated. If you agree, happy days. If you don't, shut it. My first film of choice here is going to be 2022/2023. Haven't fact checked the date. Probably should have done that before I done this video. Oopsies. Infestation, a French horror film that's basically has, spiders at the forefront, the antagonist, the creepy and the crawlies all up in this bitch. It is directed by Sebastian Vanacek and Sebastian Vanterchek, Sebastian something, but he's going to be called and referred to as Big Sexy Sebastian because if you don't know, get to know. It just takes you to a place that you're just so unwilling to go, even though I put this on voluntarily, no gun to my head. That was a choice of mine, and I hated every moment whilst loving it simultaneously. If you're like me, you've probably like low key grown up with those like sci-fi channel horror films where it's like camel spiders, lava spiders, Brokeback Mountain spiders. Directed by Quentin Tarantino. Like it's just pure B movie trash. It's cheesy. It's like the effects are a bit shit, and it doesn't really take itself too seriously, and not very good to be honest. I mean, first and foremost, Arachnophobia is probably one of the greatest, spider films of all time. You want to talk about an anxiety ride, Mustang? We could never. It's far too much. Festation tops that. We have Eight-Legged Freaks, which again just leans a little into the camp side of life, and the effects are shoddy boots. But yeah, Infestation just has so many gnarly scenes. One in particular where the group of teens that live in this apartment block, they just need to get to the end of this like long corridor, which basically is like leading to their exit. But of course, that's just covered in a whole plethora of eight-legged fuckers. The film is deliciously entertaining. It's evil in all the right ways, and it is genuinely a really skin crawlingly intense experience to even go through. If you're willing to go through it, that is, and I think you should. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it. Side piece that as the film progressively goes on, the spiders just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Woo, what a treat! Hold on, I've got to lubricate. That's some good shit. My film choice of number two would actually be Lucky McKee's 2002 May. May follows a veterinary nurse, very antisocial, doesn't really have any friends, like lives in a little house by herself. Kind of cutesy, feel really sorry for her. She has this like little doll that's in her house, freaky as you fucking like. Obviously, just looks creepy. You wouldn't even bother having that in. You wouldn't even put it in a charity shop. You would just take it outside, fucking douse it in petrol and just light the bitch on fire. That basically falls in love with this like sort of cool guy, leather jacket, really hot, sexy, and fly, and it sort of escalates from there. Don't want to spoil it because I do feel like not enough people have seen this film, and I first watched it years ago with my mom on like the horror channel on Sky, and it was one of those like really accidental sort of let's put this on because what else are we going to be at. This was absolutely lit. Stick with it. It is a slow burner, but the payoff is absolutely worth it. It takes you to a place that is just gnarly and psychologically disturbing. It is low budget. It is from 2002. So if you like that sort of vibe and you sort of, but like myself, you like to kick it back to a film from the noughties, especially a horror film, this is absolutely the one for you. And Anna Faris is in it, just playing Anna Faris. She plays a horny tramp, and like, what is actually not to love? I'm sorry. She could just burp the alphabet, and I'd be like, you better work, bitch. And last but not least, this is probably a bit of a controversial one because this film, I think, is seen by the masses, especially by horror fans. But this is Halloween Kills. Boom. Wait, where am I pointing here? Boom. Halloween Kills to me is genuinely one of the best Halloween films, probably definitely within the top five. And I know a lot of people don't feel the same way. And I know all that Evil Dead shenanigans. Evil Dead, what? Evil Dies Tonight tomfoolery and shenanigans gets on people's tits, and that's fine because I understand it is really annoying, but by no means is it a deal breaker. Fun, it is gory, it is camp, it's high energy, it's chaotic, it's funny, and it has some really, really good chase scenes. Not as much as this guy, and we'll talk about him on a different day. I do not want to get lynched on episode one. So this easily has the most sadistic and evil Michael Myers. He looks cool as fuck, just going around slicing and dicing and chopping and serving on a bed of rice and filleting and tossing in a salad. He does it all. A lot of people shit on it and just really don't care for it in that sort of way. But for my personal opinion, I feel like it's the closest thing to like an 80s slasher that we have gotten in a very long time. Really over the top, really camp, really nonsensical, and just like all about the gore and the fun. And I feel like that's overlooked a lot. Personally, I feel like if this film was released in 80, you would all be eating it up. And if Halloween 4 and 5 was released 2 years ago, Rotten Tomatoes is exactly what, you know, 80s slasher is all about, just in a modern day era. And I think that when October rolls back around, you should put it back on, kick up your tootsies, pour yourself a glass of wine, and get jiggy with it. That is all for episode one of underrated horror films that I think need a second chance. Listen, opinions are like assholes. We all have them, but you need to make sure that yours don't stink of shit before you come for mine.